Finally, that brings us to chapter 16. Chapter 16 deals with the physical aspects of delivery. You should approach giving and delivering a speech with confidence. The audience ought to be able to see in you a sense of confidence. They ought to know, they ought to be able to feel from you that you know what you're talking about. You are an authority on this subject. You've studied this. You prepared yourself. You're ready for this moment. And so you should not feel like you have to rush through it. You should not feel like you got to try to cram it all in. You should pause. You should make eye contact. You should project confidence even when you don't feel it. Listen, take up lots of space. We talked about power postures in a previous lesson. Use your hands. Take up a lot of space. Be big and bold, because that projects confidence, and that's part of the physical aspect of your delivery. Believe it or not, it makes a difference in how you are received. Now, there are a couple of big words in chapter 16. Proxemics, which is the use of space and distance. It has a role in the delivery of your message. The amount of space between you and your audience creates a sense of immediacy or distance. You can use space to enhance your message. When you get out from behind the lectern, you get out from behind the pulpit, or you get out from behind the desk, and you get closer to your audience, you create a sense of immediacy in your audience's mind. It becomes more intimate to them. When you get back behind that desk is in between you and them. The pulpit's in between you and them, and it puts some distance in between you. So the use of space, part of your body language, that's proxemics. Proxemics. It has to do with getting in closer to or further away from your audience, utilizing the space between you and your audience to help you make your point. Audiences will also pay attention to your body language. So you need to think about your body language. Think about what you're projecting with your body language. If you're pacing back and forth, or I saw a YouTube video, you may have seen it, about a young man I guess he was preaching one of maybe his first sermon, I don't know, but he was holding the microphone, he was speaking into it, and he was pacing in a circle around the pulpit. He had come off the platform down into the altar area, walk in front of the pulpit, up, across the other side of the altar area, back up on the platform, back around behind the pulpit, and back around. And he was just walking a circle around the pulpit continuously as he was speaking into the microphone. It's very distracting. It takes away from what he's saying. And so you want to be careful about how your body language is enhancing or detracting from your message. You can distract your audience with your body language, or you can make them more willing to accept your message. So you be sure to use your gestures for a reason, meaningfully, thoughtfully, so that you come across as being natural and relaxed and speaking in a conversational tone. You don't want your gestures to feel rehearsed. You don't want them to feel stiff and unnatural. You don't want to come across as uptight and unsure. You don't want to come across as using your body language or your movements to reassure yourself. Your movements are about reassuring your audience. So use your hands. Use your hands to illustrate. Use your hands to make a point. When you talk about how big something is or how small something is, use your hands to clarify what you're talking about, to reinforce what you're talking about, to describe what you're talking about, to demonstrate. These are the things that you can do with your hands. Gestures should be natural. They should be spontaneous. They should be consistent with your message. They should enhance your message. Your posture, or the position of your body in space, also helps relate your idea to your audience. When you lean towards an audience, you're perceived more positively than you are when you lean away from an audience. When you stand tall with your shoulders squared, you send a message of strength to an audience that Whenever you slouch and you look down and you're reading from your notes, that's a whole different message. It's a message that you don't want to send to your audience. Your audience will use your facial cues to determine your motives. Your facial cues should be natural. They can enhance what you're saying. They can also take away from what you're saying. What you do with your face and the emotions that you project with your face have a profound impact on your message. Be aware. Listen, sometimes we get caught up in the fear of the moment, and our face is broadcasting fear. It's hard to talk about joy when your face is broadcasting fear. It's hard to talk about being an overcomer when your face is broadcasting anything but being an overcomer. So be careful what you're saying with your face. Finally, let's talk about eye contact. Eye contact has the greatest degree of impact on the relationship between a speaker and an audience. Make eye contact with the audience. Don't just read from your notes. Don't just stare off into space. It's easier sometimes not to look at your audience. That's okay. But you need to make eye contact with your audience. That lets them know that the lines of communication are open between your audience and you. That reduces the distance between you and your audience. It makes it feel more conversational. It makes it feel more personal. It makes it feel like that the information that you're giving them is something they need, something they can use, and it helps them get from you what it is you're trying to say to them. Eye contact communicates your confidence. It communicates your conviction. It communicates your concern. It communicates your interest. It communicates that you are physically involved in delivering this message, that you are sincere, that you have authority. All these things are broadcast by making eye contact with your audience. Be sure to look at your audience. Be sure to look them in the eye. Be sure to convey that. That'll help you get your message across. The last thing that we're going to talk about in chapter 16 is your appearance. Listen, your appearance is important. Some of you lost points, and some of you did not lose as many points as you could have lost due to your appearance. Look professional. Different atmospheres require different degrees of professionalism. On Sunday morning, I wear a tie. On Wednesday night, I don't wear a tie. There are different degrees of professionalism required in different atmospheres. Let me tell you how it is in this class. When you're giving a speech for this class, I expect you to look professional. Don't wear a ball cap. Don't wear a t-shirt. Sunday night attire is good. Business casual attire is good. A collared shirt is good. Listen, there are guidelines for how you're supposed to look in a class at Urshan. Those same guidelines are a part of the speeches. You want to dress appropriately because your appearance is a part of your grade. And you say, well, why is that? Because your appearance helps communicate your message to your audience. When you come up there with a ball cap on that's turned sideways and skewed, and a t-shirt on, and you're projecting a message that is quite a bit more casual than the professional business type speaking that we're trying to teach you to use in this class. So what you wear, how you dress, will either make your message more appealing or less appealing. So make sure that the way you dress enhances your message, because that will enhance your grade. Now don't forget, next week, I'm sure there's no way you could ever forget, next week is spring break. What I want you not to forget is that all of your assignments are due the following Tuesday. Tuesday night, March the 12th, by midnight, your second speech is due, and your discussion post is due. You need to have this reading done, chapters 14, 15, and 16. You need to have these lectures watched. And if you're going to take advantage of the extra credit bonus opportunity that I've given in this lecture or earlier in these lectures, that needs to be done by midnight on March the 12th. God bless you. I hope you have a great spring break, and I will see you when you get back.